Okay, so let us proceed now to our next topic using our JavaScript, which is the other types of function. So, na-discuss na natin yung first part by using our function declaration and function expression. So, na-discuss din natin yung different types ng function expression such as named function expression and anonymous type of function expression. At the same time, na-distinguish din natin yung part ng tinatawag nating no argument type of function declaration or expression. So, ang term ko dito is unusual because kailangan natin siya i-distinguish kung para saan yung use lang niya. Sometimes applicable using our function declaration or function expression. So, tingnan natin kung bakit ko siya tinatawag na unusual siya. So, we're going to discuss the following. Function construction or constructor, okay, function hoisting, and arrow function. So, first is basing our function constructor. So, let us discuss what is this function constructor. So, this type of function can be used to define the function at the runtime, but you should use the function constructor with caution. Okay, so kailangan maging careful tayo as it can lead to vulnerabilities in the code. So, again, kailangan natin maging caution dito. Okay, because of that, possible siya mag-lead ng vulnerabilities sa ating code. So we can pass multiple argument using this function constructor. Kailangan natin sundin yung kanyang main syntax because ang last part niya tinatawag natin siyang function body. So that's the reason why here stated the last argument is what you call the function body. Kahit marami pa tayong di-declare inside and that is what you call argument or sometimes yung argument na yun tinatawag nating parameters. Ang tawag sa kanya is what you call parameter, hindi siya variable. So, titingnan natin kung bakit tinatawag natin always siya parameter at paano ba siya dinideclare. As long as stated here, the last argument is always what you call function body. So, it builds a new function object from the code string you pass. So, note, rarely used in practice because it's slower and less safe than normal function declaration. Ito yung kanyang downside. But still, like what I said, I need to discuss this so that in the future, at least pag nakita niyo siya, so may-recognize niyo na this type of function is what you call function constructor. So for the syntax, we need to use the term const, then followed by assigning variable is equal to new, or kahit wala itong word na to, equal to function. So next is that inside open close parentheses, mayroon tayong tinatawag na arg1, comma, arg2, or series of arguments. So again, stated here is what you call arguments or other term is what you call parameters. As long as ang last part niya, okay, na value or argument natin is tinatawag natin siyang function body. So, again, based sa explanation natin sa ating argument, so arg1, ito po siya. Pwede siya maging optional because pwedeng isa lang siya and it refers to our function body. So, names that are used in function body. Lahat ng ginagamit natin dito sa last part ng function body dapat declared po dito sa tinatawag nating series ng ating arguments or tinatawag natin siyang parameters. So, hindi tayo pwedeng gumamit dito ng parameters or argument na hindi po natin i-declare before po siya ng ating syntax. So, if you're talking about function body, this argument contains the JavaScript statements comprising the function definition. So, sometimes nakalagay po dito, pwede po siyang computation. Ayan. So, tingnan natin kung ano yung iba't ibang syntax by using this function constructor. So, for the reminder of the syntax using this function constructor, each argument before the last is treated as parameter name. So, lahat na nandito, okay, argument before the last. So, ito yung before. Ang treatment natin to always, tinatawag natin siyang parameter. Each parameter name such as yung arg1 natin and arg2 must be passed as a string. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan nakadeclare po dito as string. So, di ba common, nakadeclare siya like variable but still tawag dito is that parameter. But here is what's called our parameter and of course the arguments. So, arguments tawag sa kanya. So, dito, we need to declare lahat ay naka-string. And the last argument is the function body. Still, naka-declare pa rin siya sa string of code. So, string of code, ibig sabihin, nasa loob pa rin siya ng double quote para ma-recognize natin siya as a string. So, it returns a new function object. So, tingnan natin kung paano siya i-declare. According to the description, okay, naka-state must be passed as a string yung ating arguments. At the same time, yung function body always siya a string of code. So kung napansin niyo po, ayan po, surrounded po siya ng inside of our single code. Ito yung dalawang ito, ito yung tawag sa, meron tayong declared arguments, and ito yung dalawang argument plus followed by ating function body. But if we're going to describe this, meron tayong three arguments declared inside of our function constructor. So the first two arguments are arguments for the function. So for your function, so this is now the declaration of, since that now constant siya, for the function, and the third is what you call the body of the function. So function constructor, the parameter must be passed as a string. So naka-state naman po dito sa explanation ko, lahat po yun, okay, must be passed as a string. So lahat po yan pass po siya sa string. Okay, nasa loob po siya ng double quote. So P and Q are parameters. So again, so ang tawag po dito sa ating declared inside of our function constructor ay parameters. So return AB here, or here is return P and Q. Okay, so is what you called our function. So since naka P and Q pala ako dito, so ito yung tawag nating um, function body. So next po natin, dito natin dinideclare palagi sa function body yung ginagamitan natin always siya ng return, then followed by the, like what I said, argument. So pag sinasabing argument, sometimes di ba meron siyang something like pina-handle na transaction or value. So next is to display the output. So document at get element by ID, meron tayong output 1, to yung ating paragraph na nag-handle ng output. So that inner.html. This time po, gumamit po tayo ng tinatawag nating concept of our programming language like concatenation, okay, by using our plus symbol. So argument concatenate to our function, calling of function. So perform pa rin natin inside is, since that nandito siya naka-declare, wala naman siyang opening and closing. So of course, ang first niyang behavior is magiging pass by value and pass by reference siya. So P 5 ay ipapasa kay P, at si 7 ipapasa kay Q, at ipe-perform yan yung tawag nating function constructor. So pagdating po dito, so ipe-perform niya po yung return 5 times 7. So magiging output niya, pagbalik dito magiging reference nito, at i-execute niya po yung ating expected value. Ayan. So, kung ano man yung naging kanyang result. So, dito po is that, of course, 7 times 5 is equal to 35. So, that's the reason why this is the first output po. So, if you want to declare this as backtick, so, ang ginawa ko po, ni-change ko siya. So, backtick or literal, or template literal, ito yung backticks natin. Ayan. So, ito yung ating string interpolation. So, naka-declared po siya para mabasa niya as argument. So, same concept, since binasa po natin yung function. So, here, another way, ng reading ng ating function. So, we have here, using backticks. So, nirepeat natin yung reading. So, same concept, pinasa lang natin dito, 5 is equal to P, yung 7 in Q, then perform again, then go back dito. So, ginamitan ko lang po siya ng backtick literal. Kaya nga sabi niya, we need to be caution. Okay? Because possible siya lead ang code natin to the vulnerabilities. So, kaya kung napansin nyo, bakit pwede ko siya i-declare ulit, diba? Na-repeat ko yung reading ng function, same function pa rin, but hindi siya nag-create ng any errors. Okay? So, dito sa ating code. So, next output po nito, ito yung sa baba. Ayan. So, again, tawag po siyang function constructor. Okay, yung kanyang parameters must be passed as a string. Kaya nasa loob po siya ng double quote. At ang last part niya ng declaration ng parameter is what you call function body. So, ganito talaga yung kanyang construction. So, this is our first output. Then, next is, okay, so another example is what you call our body declaration of function constructor, because according dun sa description niya, always pass po siya as string. So ito po ang case natin, hindi po siya naka-declare as parameter, but treated as variable. So since wala siyang double quote. So ito yung natawag natin still argument Then variable, declared natin dito, so hindi natin masasabi siya, not parameters, parameter names. Then if P and Q are not already defined variables, then you will get a reference errors. That's the reason why kapag niran natin ito na hindi siya nakapass to a string using our function constructor, may posibilidad po na makikita nyo siya kasi wala kayong makita sa output, but kapag finisit natin siya sa console tab, may error po yung ating program. Okay? Because like what I said, always nakadeclare siya at nagpapas siya as a string. So, another one. Kanina, mayroon tayong tatlong argument. Yung last argument natin ay yung tinatawag na function body at yung two parameters natin, say like what I said, sa function constructor, ang tawag sa kanya parameter. But here, we pass the one argument to the function constructor, so it considered it as function body kapag wala tayong, pag-isa lang siya. So that's the reason why we have here return 10 plus 20. Hindi naman tayo pwede gumamit ng return A plus B because sa function body, gagamit lang tayo ng ating parameters pag once na nakadeclare siya before ng function body. So we need to now to proceed to our displaying the output. So ito po sa ID, babalik sa ating paragraph, and I am using now the concept of formatting string concatenate to our function. But this time, ang ginawa ko lang po is that I am using now no argument type of function. So wala akong pinasang value, but niread ko yung ang expected output ng return 10 plus 20 is equal to 30. So that's the reason why this is now the expected value. The value returned from the function is equal to 30. Ayan. So again, ang pinas po natin is one argument, and this is what you call function body. Okay. So again, always po siya pass into a string. Next is we define a function sum with function expression and pass to the function constructor as part of the parameter. So stated here, we define a function sum. So ibig sabihin sa loob ng ating function constructor, may dineclare po tayo na child na function, and it is what you call sum function, and function express and pass to the function constructor. So since pinasa po natin siya sa function constructor, expected po natin siya inside of string way ng pag-declare. Magpapass po siya dun sa string. So medyo mahirap siya, complicated siya, because since napapansin nyo, nasa loob siya ng opening and closing. So kapag ganito yung construction po natin, pag once na meron po siyang like this one, meron siyang child function, okay, medyo naging complicated ba siya basahin. So same syntax pa rin, pinasok lang natin siya sa tinatawag nating function constructor. So here, declaration, okay, const sum is equal to function, so AB. So this type of function still is anonymous type of function expression, so A and B, and return A plus B. So ganun pa rin, meron tayo end of semicolon here because itong return A plus B, considering ito yung opening, ito yung closing of our child function, but inside of our function constructor declaration. So, ito yung kanyang word return sum. And ito po, explain ko sa inyo to sa next slide, anong purpose nito. But ang main purpose nito is that to return the sum doon sa ating function constructor. So, kung wala kasi yan, hindi lalabas ang ating output. So, the sum is, and followed by 5 and 10. So, ano bang formula niya? Plus. So, return, the sum is equal to 15. Yan ang ating expected output. Kaya ganito po siya. Okay? So, ito pa yung explanation kanina. Bakit kailangan ganun yung kanyang way? So, const add is equal to new function. So, ano ba yung purpose niya? So, the parentheses, okay, immediately call the function return by the constructor. Again, need natin to because siya yung responsible to call the function to return by the constructor. So, without the opening closing, ito yung sa dulo na to, you just have a function object. So hindi natin siya mapapalabas because mag-a-act lang siya as that is an object, pero hindi siya magre-return doon sa ating function constructor. So without the parentheses, you execute it, so it returns the inner sum function. So with this, so i-return niya yung inner sum function. Siya yung responsible para ma-read yung child function, which is equal to sum. Kaya kung napapansin nyo po sa ating code kanina, naka-state here, mayroon siyang ganito, so that may babalik niya po ito sa ating function constructor at may return niya yung sum yung result ng computation ng A plus B doon sa function constructor natin. So I know na medyo complicated siya, but this is the application if we have this word child function inside of our function constructor. Okay, let us proceed. So I hope nagigets nyo na siya na that's the reason why tinatawag ko siyang unusual sa first part pa lang because mayroon siyang kakaiba na way of declaration like yung previous natin tawag sa kanya is parameter list, but since that wala siya sa loob ng double quote, tawag natin sa kanya is what you call our variable declared na responsible to handle our arguments, but here it is what you call parameters. Okay, always pass into a string. So declared dapat siya. And the last part ng ating parameters is what you call function body. So that's what you call again is our function constructor. So let us proceed to our next topic, which is function hoisting. Okay, again, function hoisting. So sa function hoisting, ano ba siya? Anong kaibahan niya? And ano yung kanyang characteristic? So function hoisting in JavaScript means that in JavaScript function declarations are moved, or that is the term hoisted or moved to the top of their scope before code runs. Again, okay, function declaration are moved, yung pag-declare ng function, or it refers to hoisted to the top of the scope before code runs. So you can call the function in its scope before it declares. So calling before declaration. So we already understand kung saan yung calling, nandun yung declaration ng argument na pinapasa natin doon sa ating function declaration talaga ng body ng function natin. So it is important to notice that the only declaration is hoisted, not the initialization. So, tingnan natin kung ano yung itsura niya. At kapag na-encounter niyo siya sa normal natin declaration, because mayroon itong pinagagamitan lang at hindi ito gumagana sa iba. So, that's the reason why naglagay ako ng reminder here that function hoisting works for function declaration only. Hindi siya pwedeng gamitin sa function expression, or other term is arrow function. So ito ang next topic natin. So intended lang siya sa function declaration C, what you call our function um, hoisting natin. Okay? So that's the reason why naglagay ako ng simple example at na-encounter natin to. Commonly, ang ating calling ng function, because declaration, ay makikita sa baba ng function. Okay, so sa lahat ng example ng discussion natin, always yan after ng function declaration. But here, yung kanyang calling nandito sa taas, and we all know that this type of function is what you call function declaration. So, tingnan natin. Okay. Wala kayong nakikitang const or variable or assigning variable that holds, okay, the function. So, here, say hello is our function name, calling of our function name, and before the declaration of our function. So, nasa taas po siya. Kaya tinatawag siyang hoisted. Okay. Or this type of function is what you call hoisting. So, ang output lang niya is hello Reno. So, hello Reno. Ito yung kanyang expected output. So, again, applicable lang siya sa function declaration. So, next example, for example, let sum is equal to add. So, nandito yung reading, document.write. Okay, sum. Pero, of course, before, kapag once nakita ni interpreter si sum, so add, this is now the function name of our function declaration. So, meron tayong 10 and 20 na value. Ipapasa niya muna doon kung saan located yung declaration ng function. So, n and m. So, 10, i-handle ni n, ang 20 i-handle ni m. And then, inside of our function, so let sum 1 is equal to n plus m. And then, after po nito, okay, so return, okay, we have here sum. Okay, so the sum of n and m is equal to sum 1. So, napansin niyo po, hindi siya nag-error kahit same yung declaration ng sum 1 dito, may handle ulit siya dito ng sum 1, but pwede po natin change po yan. So, like what I said, applicable lang siya sa function declaration because hindi siya strict for the variable declaration. So, let, okay, sum 1 is equal to n. Ito kasi local, ito yung global. So, the sum of n, sum of 10, and 20 is equal to 30. So, ito yung expected output niya. So, again, this type of function, tinatawag natin siyang function hoisting because nasa taas yung kanyang calling at before ang kanyang declaration. So, common, Okay? Ito nakikita natin siya sa baba. Declaration and after that yung calling. So, kaya tinatawag siyang function. So, again, ang description of function hoisting natin always declared siya doon sa top. So, tinatawag siyang hoisting. Okay. So, hoisted doon sa taas. Okay. So, I hope that this is clear. So, mayroon talaga siyang unique na characteristic. So, another one is what you call arrow function. So, ito yung last natin i-discuss. So, what is arrow function? The arrow function, na-discuss natin to sa first introduction of our function. Meron din siyang characteristic na madidistinguish na siya na this type of function is what you call arrow function. From the word itself, arrow. So, para siyang may arrow pag tinitingnan mo. Okay? So, the arrow function in JavaScript allow us to create a shorter and anonymous function. Again, allow us to create a shorter and anonymous function. So arrow functions are written without function keyword. So hindi nyo talaga siya makikita may, di ba pag function, always na-declare natin may term tayo nakikita which is equal to function talaga. But here, wala tayong nakikitang function. Okay? Because this type of function ay tinatawag natin shortest type of function. And the arrow function allow us to write the function expression with shorter. Yan. So, short type of function at wala kang makikitang term na description. Like for example, this type of function is what you call our function expression. So, this time by using by using our um, anonymous type of function. Okay? So, here, pag gusto mo siya i-convert into arrow function, so ganito na yung kanyang itsura. Wala na yung word na function at natira na lang yung parameters but madidistinguish mo na siya ay arrow function because ito po ito po yung kanyang symbol. So this is now nag-represent po siya ng shorter type of function and it refers to arrow function. So ito po yung arrow function natin. Yan. So another way na pagdi-declare such as const then followed by variable name. Name is equal to open parentheses and series of our arguments or parameters. Okay? Okay, and then after that, expression. Wala kayong makikitang open and close parentheses. And this is what you call single statement. Kapag mayroon multiple, saka nyo ma-recognize yung open and close curly braces. And this is what you call multiple type of statement. So this type of arrow function is what you call our multiple statement. Okay? Multiple statements. Type of arrow function. So, dyan nyo lang siya madidistinguish. Pag walang ganito, bigla siya nag-create ng expression. The reason why expression because pwede siya nag-handle ng computation, okay, yung condition, as long as meron siyang tinatawag na argument transaction. So, of course, kailangan i-declare mo muna kasi like what I said, function, okay, open close parentheses, and then arrow function symbol, and then followed by the expression. Yan. So, ganun din po dito. Yan. Multiple statements. Ibig sabihin po is that pwede ka mag-declare ng iba pang declaration before ka mag-return ng output. So, let us proceed. So, first example natin is what you call our single statement type of arrow function. Pansinin nyo po, yan, x and y, ginamit natin siya dito. So, ito yung kanyang parameter, x and y, and of course, ito yung pointer. Wala kayong makikita ditong open and close curly brace because this is what you call expression. So, ginawa niya, x divided by y. Okay, but wait. So, ito yung calling of our function. We're going to submit the value, 10 yung value ni x, 5 value ni y. So, perform the arrow pointers. So, expression muna. So, 10 divided by 5. Okay. So, that's the reason why kapag nag-read, bumalik na siya dito, we need to read the output, document.getElementById. So, output. So, inner.html. So, punta dito sa output natin. The quotient is, yan. Then, the result after niya ma-pass yung value. So, naka-backticks pa rin po tayo. So, kung ano yung result niya dito, kanina nag-pass by value siya, nag-pass by reference na siya. So, of course, the result is the quotient is equal to 2. So, ito yung output. Next is by using our multiple statements. So, sa next slide natin. But, okay, meron tayo pala tayo dito example number 2, output 1. So, dito naman, ginawan ko siya ng complicated transaction like pinasa ko yung si x and y, then after that perform result, complicated state expression, so like x times y divided by 2 minus y. So the output is equal to result, then pass by value and pass by reference. After this, babalik po yung result niya. So ito po siya, the result is equal to 20. So again, this type of arrow function is what you call single statement. Yan. So because of after the arrow function, automatic expression agad and reading of the output. So ito naman yung next slide natin, sinasabi ko multiple statements using our arrow function. So may makikita kayo dito, ma-recognize nyo because of this open and close na curly brace. So here, cons and of course, we have here the declaration of variable that handled our arrow function. So again, ang arrow function natin is that by using our anonymous function, ayan, inaalaw niya tayo gumamit nun. And of course, we don't have the term function, technical term inside. So, kaya siya tinatawag na multiple statement because this is our first statement, this is our second statement. So, since that gumamit tayo ng return, so of course, diba, like what I said, gumamit tayo ng return, ang reading nun palagi na sa last part. So, ang reading is that, of course, here, kapag nakita niyo to, direct kasi tayo reading, but yung approach here is that mag-a-act muna to as pass by value. So, 50 is equal to x, 5 is equal to y. So, meron tayong transaction. After that, perform the arrow function. So, multiple statements. So, let res is equal to 50 divided by 5 and return the argument res. Pagbalik niya, magiging reference na siya, pupunta dito. So, lalabas na po yung output natin. So, what is the output? Okay, so the result is that 50 divided by 5 is equal to 10. So the result is equal to 10. So let us correct the output here. So the result is equal to 10. So output pa to ng nauna kong process. Okay, so we can distinguish that this is what you called our arrow function using multiple statement because of our open and close curly braces. So this type of function, so naka-state here, pag once binasa po ng interpreter, so ito muna yung kanyang execute. So before niya display yung output, mag-act siya as pass by value and pass by reference. So maging pass by value muna siya, 50, i-handle ni x, ang 5 i-handle ni y, and ito yung ating arrow function. Pag once na-encounter ni interpreter, pupunta siya dito. So let res is equal to 50, okay, 50 divided by y, which is equal to 5, and return the result. So, since that 50 divided by 5 is equal to 10, so pagbalik niya magiging reference na to. So, we don't have function name because ito yung kanyang explanation that arrow function. Wala kang makitang word na function na technical term followed by function name. So, i-handle siya ni variable, ni constant variable divide 2. So, pagbalik dito, magiging reference na siya. I-return natin yung expected output. So, the output is equal to 10. So, please note that the open and close curly braces rin natin that come after the function shorthand symbol para ma-distinguish natin na siya ay multiple statements type of arrow function. An arrow function cannot be used as a function declaration. So, again, arrow function cannot be used as function declaration. It can only be used as function expression. And this is by using our type of function is anonymous type of function. And of course, wala tayong makikitang reserved word na function dito. So this is now the other types of our function na sinasabi ko na unusual. So I hope na ano yun na siya, napipicture out yun kung bakit natin siya diniscuss sa last part because kapag diniscuss natin siya sa first part, medyo maguguluhan kayo. So that's the reason why ito yung huling topic po natin sa regarding function because we all know kapag ang JavaScript is more about using the function natin. So for the summary, so if you're talking about function constructor, so builds function for string, and this is what you call rarely used in practice because it's slower and less safe than normal function declaration. And of course, lahat ay ng kanyang parameters ay ipapass into strings. And always, ang last part ng declaration ng parameter natin ay tinatawag natin siyang function body. Pagdating kay function hoisting, si function hoisting naman, let you use function declaration before their definition. So, nauna muna yung ng calling ng function, okay? Um, use function declaration before their definition. It works for function declaration, but not for the function expression or arrow function. And the last one is arrow function, okay? Shorter syntax, no on this, only use as expression, and this function cannot be used as function declaration naman. So intended lang siya for the function expression, at ang example na ginawa natin is by using our anonymous type of function expression. It can only be used as function expression lang. So I hope na naintindihan na natin kung bakit tinatawag ko siyang unusual type of function, because of that meron silang characteristic na pag na-distinguish mo, madidistinguish mo na siya as constructor, hoisting, and arrow type of function. Okay, thanks. I hope na na-distinguish na natin yung iba't ibang klase ng function sa JavaScript. Thank you and God bless.